Today we are with Philip and Enrico from TradeTracker.com, and they are world's one of the topmost performance marketing network. Thank you very much for being here, Philip. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
So Philip, let me ask you, since you are the director of international operations, what about TradeTracker? How did it all start?
Well, TradeTracker was founded in 2004 in the Netherlands. Actually started out all the way from a garage into now one of the biggest performance marketing companies in the world. We currently have offices across 18 countries, and this is something that is continuously expanding. So one of these countries that we're now starting is actually India, where we are right now. So currently we're doing a soft launch for our operations here, and based on that, in the next 4 weeks we are preparing everything for a launch party, which we're going to have in the first week of November.
Amazing, congratulations for opening there. I certainly appreciate it, and I believe it will be a great opening here in India.
Absolutely.
Alright, so let me ask you the basic questions, okay? First of all, the top questions. What are the top geos and offers that you have at the moment?
The operations that we have, because we are very much believe in a local presence. So the offices that we operate, this is also the country and the territory that we go after the advertiser providing our services to them. So when it comes to the office, Enrico is managing that part of the business, and so he can provide you that information. It's very local activity, although operations on a global scale by having these offices across the globe.
That makes sense as well. I'll just come to you, Enrico. That makes sense that since you guys are doing local business, because if I'm in India, I understand my country.
Exactly.
So Enrico, what's your thought on that? How are you going to scale on that?
I think a combination of both international brands we manage on a global level, and local campaigns are doing really well. So we have global brands like Beerdash, Booking.com, which we run across the whole world.
Chicago is also an important client. So these brands, what we provide to them is one network solution. So although they can work with the local experts across the globe, they still manage everything from one single interface. So whether they want to make use of any different channel that also includes affiliate marketing, and they can still make use of one platform, one interface for all their reporting and the different channels that they use for online advertising. And the best part is that everything is paid based on performance, so only after the actual required action is achieved.
So you're talking about CPA, right?
CPA is actually part of what we offer, but everything which is transactional based, that is part of what we provide to the advertiser. So whether this is mobile transactions, whether this is desktop transactions, whether it's a combination of, if it is retention based, but also branding campaigns that really go only about display advertising and having CPC or CPM campaigns. Even hybrid models are also a possibility. So it really depends on how the advertiser wants to build this campaign. Ultimately, what we really think that should be the future of advertising is that every advertiser has the possibility to calculate back to his profit margin based on either a product or any transaction, and simply assign part of that profit margin to any online advertising activity. And in that sense, it should not matter anymore whether there's only one publisher that's active on promoting that campaign and getting that additional transaction, or whether there are hundreds or thousands that are involved in that single transaction. Ultimately, the advertiser wants to pay for an additional sale, and we're the network that provides that.
Absolutely. I mean, who does not? I need more ROI. I'm investing. I need that investment of some X amount.
Exactly.
Why would I invest?
And you want to have as less risk as possible. So you continuously want to decrease that, and the only way how to do that is to make every channel be paid on performance.
Okay, I have two questions on the reporting, and then I'll come to tracking and profits. Okay, on the reporting, you guys have your own tracking software. Can you throw some light on that?
Yeah, of course. So the platform was built by us, so it's a fully proprietary software. That also comes with reporting requests that we get from our clients. So currently we have roughly 400,000 users on the platform. So that is publishers, it's advertisers, and they all provide input to the system. So whenever there's a request, we have a dev team that really takes care of putting everything in place that the advertiser requires. So that goes from one reporting system, which is again one of the things why clients prefer to work with TradeTracker, is that we have a global system in place that allows them to generate reports irrespective of where they operate. So whether they run 5 campaigns in the UK, or they run another 7 in Germany, or they run a couple in China or in India, that should not matter. It should all come down to one reporting interface, and then you have a user rights system in place that simply decides who should have access to what part of the interface.
Absolutely good. And that brings me to the second part of the question, which is the fraud clicks. How do you manage fraud clicks? And that's a big thing I know in affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
I've seen ups and downs.
Well, affiliate marketing, it sometimes still has a very bad name, which I think is a real shame, because there are so many good things that you can do with affiliate marketing. And that's also why I think that many are changing everything into performance in terms of the terminology. But we have our internal developed systems as well related to fraud clicks. So we prefer to show the origin for the actual traffic sources, what's the interval between the actual clicks. Then there's also other information related to the browser, the type, how that interacts, what is the correlation between multiple transactions, publishers' origins. We do account checks, checks against the bank details, whether someone has used the same IP address and then creates another account. Just as one of the basic examples that we have within this very extensive platform.
That's good. I mean, you guys are working from the base level.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Talking of that, do you guys also integrate with other SaaS like Volume or maybe Cake?
Well, it is definitely a possibility. And so obviously piggyback on transactions is one of the main things that is done within the industry. Recently we have launched our attribution solution, which allows an advertiser to actually incentivize every single publisher that is promoting the brand for them to pay part of the commission to the individual publishers that are involved in the customer journey. And that does not need to be only within the affiliate channel. That can also be in terms of display, it can be CPC, and any, say, social channel you can also include within that model. Now, there are also advertisers that are working with existing network providers. Now, there are a couple of possibilities. One is to migrate the entire program, and another is to actually integrate that into our existing systems. So these actually provide a bit less of a barrier for the advertiser in that respect. But the opportunity
for you to work as well.
Well, I mean, the benefit of the entire constellation is that all the publishers that are actually promoting the brand, they are also retained because of them receiving, if only part of the commission, depending on what the advertiser has predefined to what type of publisher he wants to pay what part of the overall commission. So having, say, 100 transactions in Utopia, you would want to have as many publishers as possible to be paid, up to say this 100, so that everyone continues to be incentivized and continue the promotion of your brand. Now, in fact, that's only 15, maybe 20% of this 100 that's actually continuously driving traffic and conversions for the brand, which means that 80% in general is actually dropping the promotion.
Correct.
What you want to do based on this attribution is not only incentivize this other 80% to continue the promotion, but this is a snowball effect that has all these publishers reaching out to a new base of customers, new base of consumers, that again drives traffic to also other types of publishers. So this is a real good form of what we actually call within the insights that we have spread, the change from competition to co-opetition, because you have a co-driver of traffic towards the brand. You're working together for that conversion. Because based on this concept of attribution, it's not anymore that you need to fight to become that actual last touch point before converting, but you as the last touch point in the conversion path also benefit from all the efforts of everyone else. So you want, as the last touch point, that there are as many publishers as possible that are also promoting that brand, so that you all benefit from more conversions and more revenue for the advertiser and everyone involved.
Absolutely. In Six Sigma, if you're aware, there's a term called sales through service, wherein you are not pushing for the sale, you're pushing for the services, the awesome service that you're providing, and that's what gets to the sale. I think that's a perfect sale.
Exactly. This is working together to actually get the customer to make the purchase instead of giving that final step. So you have within the regular purchase funnel, I mean, this is common knowledge. You have the different touch points, those interact with the customer before they actually make their purchase. So why would you as an advertiser only want to facilitate the payment of the last phase?
Absolutely.
Facilitate the last phase with the payment. That's also something you could say. So turning things around, incentivize everything that has to do with the overall journey of that customer to that purchase. Let everyone cooperate and work together towards having that customer convert.
Absolutely. Customer retention, customer conversion. Yeah,
well, the same actually goes for retention, because only after the customer's conversion you need to work on advocacy. Sure. And this advocacy also comes from review sites that again go after the actual conversion. So this starts, one could say, again, a new customer journey, and then there is again the influence of multiple publishers, and you also want to remunerate them for their efforts. And based on the rule set that you've defined as a client, it's fully transparent to the publishers in advance to the actual transaction taking place. Everyone knows what they can expect.
Amazing. You know what? I've taken a couple of interviews. You know your stuff, man. Believe me. Good. All right. And nowadays, mostly every publisher is going towards paid ads. How's your thought on that? Quality ads are always good.
But the main point that we want to achieve is, like I said, we would like to go for every channel, every type of ad to be paid based on performance. So in terms of the quality, the quality makes the conversion itself.
Correct.
So if you're only paying for the actual conversion, then the quality, well, that should be there, because otherwise someone does not convert. So there's also less in running these type of campaigns if everything is paid on performance. If that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. And let me again come back to the Indian part. You are opening your office in India.
Yeah.
Firstly, I heartily congratulate you on that. Because where do you see the operations in India in the next 2 to 3 years? Not only in India, but worldwide. What is your scaling up?
Well, worldwide, that is obviously the ultimate target. We have expanded quite rapidly into different territories and different countries, and one of them now being India, but further into Southeast Asia. We've just opened our office in Mexico, just opened office in Brazil. US is only the next step away. And the same goes if we go east. So India now, which is starting in the next 4 weeks. And after that, well, there are many more interesting countries for us to set up our office.
Absolutely.
Where we really think in this very much cliche, think global, act local approach. Because for both advertisers and publishers alike, you have the requirement of simply speaking your own language, and speaking to an expert that understands your field of business and your country, your local needs, norms, values, because it's always different by speaking to anyone else from another country.
That's a solid point that Philip has put. That the local understands the other person. He is an expert. He can speak what you understand. That would not help if we write something in English and just translate in that language.
Exactly. It's like
you don't get that.
Well, I mean, you can pretty much compare it to Google Translate version of how you do your business. If you put something in, then it starts to make sense. But if it actually comes to the detail, then it doesn't. And this is what we think actually makes the difference between some companies that operate globally, and those that actually have a global presence that can really provide the service that both publishers and advertisers require.
So my last question would be, how's your experience here in Indian Affiliate Summit?
Well, this is now for me the second time that I'm here in India at the summit.
That answers already.
So it has been positive the first time, but I also see that this market requires professionalism. So what you see is many people that are, say, ex-employees of networks that have started their own network. Now, obviously, they have all the right to to seek for opportunity. But that also blurs a lot within the market, because what are the points that you are actually different from the competition? What is it that you can provide that someone else is not able to provide?
What is your USP?
What is the USP? And the basic points of, say, having competition is, in general, you have your product, you have the service that you provide, and it comes at a certain price.
Sure.
Then the location, like we've just discussed, that is part of what your actual service offering is. The localization is a very important part, at least that's what we think. But if you have like the same type of companies providing the same type of technology and the same type of service, the only thing that's able to compete is price. And this is something that we've seen. Now that price actually comes also with rebrokering campaigns, and that is very intransparent. And we are all for transparency. So, I mean, contrary to what we have seen in India for, say, the past year, and also again this year, because there are even more, say, sole networks than I saw. Exactly. So decreasing this transparency, because an advertiser does not see anymore where the actual traffic is coming from. And this goes by, well, say, the arbitrary thought of those that are working on the campaigns. And it simply requires some professionalism, and further growth is just one of the markets that is still, well, relatively immature, and with time that will actually change. And we are proud to be part of this, well, let's say, growth of the Indian market and making it more professional and transparent.
Thank you. You guys are germinating the seeds, which I'm positive that after some time you will see the fruits of it.
I'm absolutely positive. Yeah, absolutely positive.
Right. Thank you very much for your time. I certainly appreciate, and Enrico, for your time. I certainly appreciate. You did not speak though, but I know the knowledge that you have. No, you look good, and I think so. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, guys. And
thank you.
Thanks
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.